Hi everyone, I'm Sarthik Mehta. I'm a fourth year BTech student doing my specialization in computer science and engineering, and I belong to VIT Chennai. My academic performance was above average. I had a CGPA of 8.73 during the time of placements. Uh, I was an extensive member of Event Managers Club during my time at VIT. I was a part of the club for around 3 years, and the company I got selected into is American Express, and the role that was provided to me was an analyst's role, and my CTC was 13.27 lakhs. The application selection process was fairly straightforward for American Express. They came for two job profiles. One was a completely technical job profile, and the other was an analyst job profile. For technical job profile, they had a CGPA clearance of 7, and for the analyst, they had a CGPA clearance of 8, 8.5. Around 1500 students were shortlisted for giving the online test in the technical role, and around 1200 students were shortlisted for the analyst role. Depending on the type of a student, he or she may have had to face multiple rounds of interviews. For example, I only had to give 2 rounds of interviews, while some of my friends who were also selected for the interviews were asked to give 3 rounds of interviews. The additional third round was completely HR. Uh, Regarding how did I prepare for American Express's interview, I knew beforehand for which role I was shortlisted, and I modified my entire preparation around that. I looked back into archives of what American Express used to ask students in the previous year for that particular role, and I diversified into Google and other websites where I could, brush my basics on those subjects. For example, case in point being, I was shortlisted for the analyst role, right? So I had to brush up on machine learning, and I had some projects, and I also did my internship in machine learning. So I completely brushed up on those facts, and additionally I looked up Geek for Geeks, where I found out some questions that they asked previously, some questions regarding the different models and such and henceforth. So I also brushed up on that. So this was my basic preparation for American Express. Preparations for placements on whole vary from student to student. For me, I started with clearing out basics from HackerRank. I chose that platform because personally for me I find it quite user friendly. I code in the Python language, so I started out with clearing all my basics in Python using HackerRank. While I was doing that, I also focused a lot on data structures because they form a very important part in interviews, and not only in interviews, in further down the line when you start doing job for the company. Aside from that, after I had cleared out a particular part of all the basics for Python, I started coding on LeetCode, where I found a diverse community where each question had a different solution from a different person. So it really helped to not only know my point of view but also someone else's point of view in solving a particular question. Then when I wanted to go up company specific, like I knew that Amazon was coming next year, Microsoft is coming next day, so I would go to Geek for Geeks and solve their company specific questions, and that was really insightful because you get to know what level of difficulty a company can ask, and not only that but also what type of edge cases or some particular hidden test cases the company can give, which are quite nicely specified on Geek for Geeks. A very important part that is often skipped by many of the students is the aptitude section, and also the MCQs that are asked regarding computer science fundamentals, that may be C++, Java, SQL based, or in general computer science, as I talked before. So I also focused a lot on these MCQs and solving them. A lot of help can be found on Google itself. You don't need to go on a particular website. You can just in general search for aptitude questions, and you can start solving some aptitude questions every day, along with some computer science fundamental questions every day, that can be found very easily on Geek for Geeks. Very important point for my preparation was going over all the projects and the internships that I did during my college life. I specifically focused on them and created a Word document where I listed out for each project what was the use case for the project, which language I used, what were the limitations, what was the scalability, what are the particular models, how could the project be seen through software engineering point of view, and also the future scope, so that if any type of question is thrown up on me in an interview, I should be ready with all aspects of the project so that I can answer the interviewer. Because it's very important, even if you are doing a project and you have genuinely done it, the interviewer should get it from his questions and your answers that it was you who did that project. So this was very important for me. And the last point that I would like to mention is that particular thing that you are very good at. For example, I feel I am very good at machine learning, so I focused on that. I started brushing up a lot on machine learning, and I did my internship in machine learning, so I focused on that internship, what I did, how I did it. I created a document for that. And a very important point is the previous interview experiences that help you. For example, for me, it was my third interview experience with American Express. Previously, I sat for Cisco and Ion, and I was rejected in both of those companies. So those interviews always help a person to single out what are your flaws and what you're saying or doing wrong. As I mentioned before, I was part of Event Managers Club, and I had an experience of interviewing over 100 students. So being part of an interview was not a difficult job for me, but that experience definitely helped me to understand what the interview was thinking of me. So I think this was my preparation for the interviews. The coding round for me was fairly challenging. All coding rounds are fairly challenging. They started out with machine learning because that was what the role was about, and they asked some basic questions and they went into some depth about bagging and boosting methods. Then they shifted to some puzzles about Russian roulettes and some different puzzles for hours which could be found on Geek for Geeks. Then came the real coding section where I was asked two coding questions. One was based on dynamic programming and the other was based on strings. Both were of medium difficulty. After that, I was asked two SQL queries on joins and unions. Also, I was, there were two interviewers who were asking questions for me. So while I was solving a particular question, they were also looking at my multitasking skills. So while I was solving those SQL queries, in the background, the other person was asking me some OOPS concepts or some very basic questions that, all computer science students have in the back of their head. Then I was asked a very interesting design question, and I just had to give them an overview how that design product could be, would it be successful or not, what are the limitations, and they just wanted to see if I was able to imagine the real world use case, and would I be able to find the constraints. They never asked any questions. You had to ask them, is it right, or am I going on the right track, and they were very helpful with the feedback. Then they asked me some company specific questions like, as American Express is a credit card company, how does a credit card company makes money? And by the end of the interview, the entire direction of the interview shifted to HR. I was extensively asked about team bonding, conflict solving, and time management and such. Technical or non-technical clubs may or may not have an impact on interviews or getting selected, because it depends on how a student perceives them. If he or she is interested in that club, then obviously they would be getting a lot from it. For example, I was definitely interested in management when I came from school to college, and that is what I pursued for a greater part of my college life. And that experience obviously helps, because even if you are part of a technical or non-technical club, you gain people skills, which are definitely a very important soft skill that is sought after by the company. In addition to that, if you're part of a technical club, for example Android or web development, and you have made some projects, that will definitely come in handy, and that would be a plus point for you over someone. But saying that this would be your distinguishing factor, or saying that you are selected in a particular company because you have been part of this club, would be a far stretch, because this is just a bonus point that may give you +2 at the end of the day. But most of it is focused on your academics, coding, or whatever type of position you're applying at. Building a perfect resume is all about balance. You do not need to throw out everything in a very loud and aggressive manner at the person reading the resume. You can be short and sweet. You keep the resume maximum 1.5 2 pages, and all obviously pointing out all the projects that you did during your college life, all the internships that you did in your college life, or otherwise also, is a very helpful part. Because when a person reads your resume, he should be able to, in a single glance, find out how are you in your academics, what are your achievements, and what are your hobbies and skills that you possess. And on the other hand, he should also be able to see what you have done with those skills that you have. How did you apply those skills in your projects? What did you learn in the internship? So building a perfect resume is all about balance, and doing projects and doing multiple internships helps to a certain extent. As I previously mentioned, they give you a plus bonus point, but they do not make or break your job for the company. That's a definite no, but they would give you a bonus over some other student, let's say. Soft skills that is taught in our colleges is helpful to a particular extent. It can be said they teach some skills, some interview tips in our third and fourth year that come in useful, but I don't think they are much useful for the online tests or online coding rounds. Because whatever they teach, it yes, it gives an introduction to what questions could be asked, but it all depends on the student's preparation, and he has to go into in depth of what the coding question or coding round may ask. Uh, about the placement ratio, VIT always prides itself on placing its students specifically in computer science and engineering, but also in all the other fields, and that is a trend that has followed even in these tough times. So I think a great pat on the back goes to Pat Office too. But talking about computer science, which was my field, most of the students got placed, and many of them got placed in super dream companies. All the campuses of VIT had a single placement this time. That is, if a company is coming to VIT, they would be coming to all four campuses. So it was a little competitive, but at the end of the day, this is March, and even now super dream companies are coming. So I think it was a good placement season. Advice to my juniors would be definitely maintaining a good CGPA. Try to maintain a good CGPA. If you are in your third year, try to maintain your CGPA. Don't aim for something, a very high or very low. Just keep your CGPA whatever it is and try to focus on placements. Give yourself ample time to prepare. Consistency is obviously the key, and it's very important not to feel burnt out, because that had particularly happened with me. You start preparing with a lot of focus, and at one point it even starts becoming fun, but when you don't get any results, you start to lose hope, and you start feeling burned out. So don't let that come in your way. Be motivated. Start coding in peer groups. Peer coding always helps. Start coding in a notepad instead of an IDE. And aside from coding, for other fields, whatever basics that are being taught in the college, those are really helpful. Focus on that, focus on your projects. And it's very important not to get lost in so much data that's coming at you. Many people will talk to you about you can get placed like this, you can get placed like that, but keep your source singular. Listen to everyone, but choose what to understand, what to keep in your mind. It's just a phase in your life, and there are certainly much bigger things ahead. So all the best to everyone.